What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. I know y'all see in the title, y'all see it on the thumbnail. When it comes down to it, this is the discussion that's talked about on Fox News. You know, when it comes to Greg Gutfeld, Jessica Tarlov, and the rest. You got it right here. This is just true facts. Definitely true facts. 2023, Kamala Harris posted 0 post with the word gas in it. Y'all know, I mean, it's no surprise. This is being real. 2024, Kamala refused to take any accountability for the gas prices under Biden, of course. And then it says now under President Trump, she all of a sudden cares about gas prices. And, you know, it's actually fascinating. Like, I'm not even going to lie. It doesn't surprise me. I see multiple people that obviously dislike Trump always talk about the gas prices and this, that, and the other. Mind you, didn't say anything, you know, as Biden being in office. And one thing about it that makes me mad about it is that y'all see all the things that President Trump obviously is doing. And it's almost like he's doing a lot. But then again, people got something to say. They're always going to have something to say, especially, you know, individuals that absolutely do not like President Trump. Kamala Harris posted, hearing in North Carolina around the country, gas prices are too high. This is a direct result of Donald Trump's war of choice in Iran, and the American people are paying the price. So, again, mind you, let's just say one thing here. You have a president that's actually doing something, and the gas prices are, you know, and I ain't even gonna say that because I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure here it went down a little bit. Or you have a president that does absolutely nothing at all but make things worse, and the gas prices are still high. What would you rather go with? Exactly. So I'm just saying, being 100 with y'all. Here's the video right here, Kamala, y'all.
Hey everyone, so I'm here in Charlotte since the start of Trump's war of choice. It's $15 more every time you fill up your tank of gas. The price of diesel has now gone up 80% since the start of the war. And you best believe that's going to carry over to how much you're paying for all the goods that are being transported on those semis. We've got a president who is paying more attention to what he thinks is in his best political interest and personal interest as opposed to what is in the best interest of working people in America. Hey everyone, so I'm here in Charlotte.
It's literally always something. It's always something when it comes down, obviously, to Kamala Harris and the rest of the left. Truly sickening, I'll tell you that. Not to mention, you have Kamala Harris. Again, this is, I'm pretty sure, the same. She was wearing the same thing. This is in the same day. All in the same day, y'all. Kamala Harris says that she's thinking about running for president. One thing about it, I truly know that things will be completely worse her running now than before. I think so. And I personally think so just based off of what happened and just I don't want to, you know, be mean or anything, but it's just stating facts. She can't. She absolutely can't. The way that, you know, she does things and thinks things through a little, I'm not a fan of it. I'm going to say that. Check it out.
They pulled me off the news to come and say hello to you and ask you, are you going to run?
I have not decided. I'm thinking about it, but I have not decided. So there you are.
What does the room think of her answer? Thank you.
Guaranteed this was all planned. Like, I'm not even going to lie. You can definitely tell, like, it was all planned. You know what I mean? This is her stunt, I guess, that she's pulling, but at the same time, you know, obviously you have a few individuals. What do you got, about 16 people max that screamed and hollered? Probably not even that much, probably a few, but sitting there, I should say. You got it right here though. This is the 5. Says Greg Gutfeld, Mike drops Jessica Tarlov. Because she had a lot to say in a couple videos I'm gonna show y'all. Check it out.
Tell me what is not amazing.
Don't get her started.
I know, but she will have to try very hard.
No, I won't.
That's why
You know
she had to
what's not
pivot away from
majestic?
Straits of Hormuz. Look, Trump let all the midwits gorge on passed around opinions and just sat there and got it done.
Yeah,
It's already done.
But you would say that all of our allies don't even have their own intel, which, by the way, we were mad because they weren't going to share with us anymore.
We got to run, but
you know what's not
one
majestic,
thing-
though? How much your gas costs. That's
There you
not
go. There you go.
Well,
You didn't care about that when Biden was president.
Actually, I
but we
did.
can actually
Exactly.
show you why your
Exactly.
gas is going up.
We know why.
We still don't
There
know
was
why
a-
gas went up under
Really?
Biden.
The
Why was
inflation
it?
went up because there was a global
off
health
Hunter?
pandemic. Oh,
Well,
yes, because of Hunter's.
Jessica, we
penis
gotta
pictures.
run, but something that would be truly majestic would be for your colleagues to root for the sparkly deal that you're rooting for. So
Enough
we will
of the
see.
Sparkly. I regret.
Coming up next, Jimmy
One thing
Kimmel-
about it is that Greg Gutfeld ain't gonna hold his tongue. Maybe the rest, but Greg Gutfeld is never gonna hold his tongue. I mean, you got another video here. Says Greg Gutfeld just obliterated Jessica Tarlov to her face. You know, and it's again one of those things, you know, that she continues to steady bring up, you know, and stay. And what I find crazy about this and that truly like irks my nerves about it is the simple fact that like everybody is having something to say. I feel like it's just one of those things, like just let things be. Obviously, people are gonna say their opinion, say this, say that, but I feel like they should just let things be, just based off of the fact, like, being real, what did Biden do? You know, and I always ask that. Like, even if, let's say for instance, a person is a Democrat, but they wasn't, how can I say this? They're a Democrat, but they don't support Biden. You know, or I guess I can say that. They're a Democrat and don't support Biden, or they're not too much of supportive about Biden, but they, you know, they voted for him. You know, just say an individual like that. My thing is, where was all the energy as Biden being president? That's what I have a problem with. Like, I can understand if individuals had, you know, that problem, they got something to say when it comes to the Biden administration, when it comes to, you know, obviously not stuff getting done, but it's like they have this hatred towards President Trump and the Trump administration so much that they have to do that. And I find it crazy. I honestly find it crazy. I know y'all do. You know, but then again, I'm not surprised about it. Check it out.
You can't understand Trump because his political decisions align with his personal and patriotic ones. You understand
ones, like his
Kamala,
own bank
you
account?
understand Gavin, you understand Biden because their political decisions are divorced from the things people want. Why are you on the 20 of every
I'm
80-20 issue? Is because you divorced political desires from human needs. And then you have to dress up your decisions as compassion when they're merely wants from an activist class. The thing about Trump is, I don't care whether you like him or hate him, you're suffering from the Trump America alignment problem. Political, personal, and patriotic desires all stack up. You can't think.
Telling y'all, pretty wild, pretty crazy. One thing about it, President Trump posts another post. I don't know if y'all remember, but President Trump actually posted, you know, a post about Jessica Tarlov. I had it up actually, but I'm gonna just read off this one for y'all. You know, but when I say that President Trump did not hold back on his post, he absolutely didn't at all. Like I said, he did put out another post about Jessica Tarlov weeks ago, but President Trump posted, "I'm on Air Force One, headed to Las Vegas and Arizona for greetings and speeches on no tax on tips and windfall for our great American citizens. I'm watching one of the latest attractive and talented people on all of television, Jessica Tarlov. Her voice is so grating and terrible, I had to turn her off. Democrat sound bites are fake. She makes up poll numbers and nobody challenges her because she is boring. I have among the best poll numbers I have ever had, and why shouldn't I? All the country does win. CNN had me at 100%, saying they never saw that before, which they did. I'm pretty sure I showed a video of that not too long ago. Said get her off the air. She is bad for our country. I hear Megyn Kelly Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens are dying fast. Their numbers are terrible. Nobody believes them anymore. They were fake MAGA, and now they've been exposed. President DJT. So y'all have it there. Like I said, President Trump at not one point, just being real. Being real. Me personally, I've heard a lot when it comes down to Tucker Carlson in the past. I've heard, Candace Owens on things, within her. But I am new to this whole Megyn Kelly thing. I need to be checking it out. Or y'all let me know in the comments, whatever happened to Megyn Kelly. But I've had Megyn Kelly on, my channel. I put her videos up a couple times. And I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about it. So I'm going to definitely have to check that out. But one thing about it, President Trump didn't hold back at all. Here's another post, video, of President Trump speaking facts. Like always, check it out.
The Democrats don't know what they're doing. They want to tax everybody out of business. They want men playing in women's sports. They don't want voter ID. They don't know what they're doing. We've had an unbelievable run, and the people getting their tax returns, and they're coming back, and they're ending up getting $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 more than they thought possible. The Democrats don't know what they're doing.
And
they
one
want
thing
to tax.
about it is that, again, he's speaking facts. He's completely right when it comes down to it. Because they don't know what they're doing. Not only do not know what they're doing, they truly don't have a leader, I should say. They don't have a leader. It's definitely crazy. It's definitely sickening, that they continue to say this, say that, and say whatever they want to. And honestly, they're doing it and making it worse for themselves, I should say. They definitely are. This is Scott Jennings. You already know that I have to play this. This had to go in my video. And one thing about it is I've been saying this for so long about everything in general. I'm about to say Tucker Carlson. What Scott Jennings said here, it makes sense because somebody had commented on, I'm pretty sure it was a couple of videos ago. It was a couple of videos ago, and somebody said that President Trump could cure sicknesses. He could do this. He could do that. And things that have never done before. It's great things, amazing things. And again, Democrats still wouldn't call it a win. Still want to be happy whatsoever. Check it out right here.
There's a blockade, yes, and it's effective, but it's not benefiting the United States in terms of access or any of our allies around the world.
If they succumb
so
to
where
pressure,
is the victory there, and how can this
Can I ask you a question? Do you want us to win? Do you want us to defeat these people?
I always want the U.S. to win.
Because it sounds to me like you are cheering for a bad outcome.
Could you define what win looks like?
Because all you can seem to do is define negativity.
What win looks
Here's
like.
What win looks like. These fanatics don't get a nuclear weapon. Period. Full stop. That's a win.
but the president said that they didn't have
the American people deserve to know why our troops are there. What is it exactly that we're fighting for?
We're going to stop them from getting a nuclear weapon.
And that's one thing that I truly don't get when it comes to so many people that's continuing to say that. What are we doing there? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And it's literally in front of your face. I can't stand. I feel like that's one of the biggest pet peeves that I have is when you're constantly saying something and you're telling the person what the issue is, what the problem is, and what the solution is, and they still ask a question and you literally telling them. I'm telling y'all, you're literally telling them. It's crazy.
Straits were open
a nuclear weapon.
Before the war.
It has nothing to do with the strait. It's a nuclear weapon.
That has always been our mission. But there was no imminent threat.
Sure there was.
There was no imminent threat.
Val, they have missiles that can reach most of Europe. Do you not consider that to be an imminent threat?
There was no imminent threat to the United States.
We don't have bases and troops in Europe and all over the world.
Exactly. That, you know what I mean? Let's be real. Not thinking that we have troops everywhere. And then when you say, oh, well, we have troops, everywhere. Oh, well, they need to come back home. They need to do this. They need people gotta make I'm telling y'all about to have me cussing here. People gotta make things make sense. I'm telling y'all. They gotta make things make sense. I wanted to play this. This is Latinia Brown. I put this, put her in my video. Not put this video. I put her in my video many times. And what she said, I definitely have to get, I have to give that respect. I have to give, because it's true, with working together. Check out what she says right here, y'all.
Hey guys, it's Latinia, favorite community advocate. It is such a lovely day outside. I am just taking it all in. As you can hear, I'm like, my keys are tingling. But I just want to say this. I need the Republicans to get back on track and start focusing on affordability. Right now, people are unable to live in the blue states and blue cities. People are suffering. A lot of businesses are suffering. And if you lose sight of that, you will lose your support. You will lose your base. So get back on track, pay attention to what's going on, connect with the grassroots leaders. Influencers can only do but so much. Lately we've been seeing all the infighting going on with the Republicans, the MAGA, the far right wing. It's just ridiculous now. And the Democrats are just lapping it up and laughing at y'all.
One thing that I have to say, even though there might be some Democrats that's laughing, and saying this and saying that, I get it. But at the same time, what do they have to offer? They don't have nothing going on. If anything, they shouldn't be paying attention to anything that the right goes. They should be paying. Matter of fact, they should be paying attention what the right got going on. Just for the simple fact, they need to see how things are done and stop BSing around. But they're not. They're not at all. But they definitely need to focus on a lot of things. People just need to realize. I feel like so many people just need to realize the truth. Stop being so deluded. Stop listening to other people and just pay attention. I'm telling y'all, that's why I try to do what I'm telling y'all.
Both sides to work together to help address the affordability crisis and address public safety, which is something the president is doing, but he is one man. He cannot do it alone. You all need to get back on track and focus on what matters. Businesses, affordability, taxes, public safety, you name it, healthcare, all of these things that we are concerned about, because you're losing. The blue cities and blue states are losing more and more people. And when those businesses leave, they take the jobs with them. And what happens to these cities and states? They collapse. They collapse and turn into a third world country, which is not something that we need right now. And we see that there's an experiment going on here. Look at what happened to Chicago and California. Look what's going on in, parts of Maryland and Baltimore. It looks like a shit show. And New York is starting to look like that. And that's not something that we need. We need stability. We need trust. Restore the trust and the integrity in our government. And stop with the bickering back and forth on social media, because you guys look absolutely ridiculous. Get back on track and focus on what the people need.
And I ain't even gonna lie. A lot of times, the truth hurts. When it comes down to a lot of things, I just feel like it's just one of those things. Like, somebody got to say it, somebody got to do it, and speak out on things that need to be said. And that's just how I feel. Whether people like it, and everybody is definitely going to have different opinions and different things to say. But at the same time, I just look at the simple fact that it is a time, to come together with different things, there's especially, these things that's going on. President Trump can't do everything. I'm pretty sure she put that,
hey guys,
just saying that President Trump is one person, and it takes a coalition of people to work together. And it's true. It's definitely true. President Trump is one person, and he's doing a lot. I feel like so many people ain't even paying attention to that. And I've said this before, this week, that, again, he's literally one person doing a lot. I've been seeing him on flights. Sometimes I be thinking in my head, like, it got to be a few President Trumps. It has to be, just based off of he's always on the move. He's always on the move and doing everything. And one thing about it, nobody can never compare what Biden administration has, to the Trump administration when it comes to actually doing something. Because anytime that I've seen Biden do anything, I'm telling y'all, I'm not even trying to talk about this, man, so let me stop. But times that I do see him on the beach, I'm not going to say the other things. I've been trying to do better with a lot, but you already know what those things are. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm telling y'all, stay tuned for it. Catch y'all next one.